many of you are asking the same question, what is the perfect practice routine? So, what is the perfect practice routine? We're gonna cover the most essential key elements that are important. Maybe you are missing one or two, and also how much time should you actually dedicate to each of those elements, okay? So we're gonna answer all of those questions, and I would say let's start. In order to have an effective practice routine, there are three things I'd like to point out. So first of all, I say this all the time, daily consistency. If you can manage to play, let's say, 10 minutes a day, if you are a beginner, this would be awesome, okay? Because it takes actually time to build muscle memory, okay? If you play like 1 hour a week, it's not that efficient as if you play 10 minutes a day, okay? So that's very important, consistency, okay? The second thing is goals. Have clear goals and visions, okay? The students who have clear goals, who know what they want to learn and where they want to go with their piano journey, with their piano skills, they progress always faster, okay? So that's the second thing. And the third thing is be adaptive, okay? So for example, it might happen that tomorrow you say, I'm not in the mood for this music piece. Then don't force yourself to play this music piece. Play another music piece, or maybe just focus on technique or focus on hand coordination, whatever. But just do something different. It's always better than just giving up, okay? So that's the last thing. Be adaptive, because then also your motivation actually stays higher, okay? Very important. Okay, so wherever you are, whatever level you are at with your piano skills, there are always like 3 things in your practice routine that should be always in some way included, okay? So the first thing is technique. The second one is your repertoire, which means all the songs and music pieces you are playing, okay? And the third thing goes basically in hand with the second thing, is the music theory. But yes, they go together in my opinion, okay? So let's talk about the technique, okay? There are lots of different ways to do this part, okay? So for example, you can do scales, like the C scale, for example. And go down again. But there are also other exercises like this one here. And so on, okay? So there are a bunch of exercises that are super for finger coordination, for exercises that you develop your finger skills, okay? And the important thing with technique is it doesn't have to be complicated, okay? If you're just a beginner, pick a very, very simple one. But the important thing for the exercise is that you play it with a lot of control, that you play it as precisely as possible, okay? That you are aware of what your fingers are actually doing, okay? And depending on your level, you can choose which techniques, which exercises you want to choose for your practice routine, okay? The next thing is the repertoire, and that means which songs you are actually playing, okay? And when it comes to practicing the songs, the most important thing is play the right notes, okay? You have to play the notes in the sheet music, okay? That's very important, okay? And then you can add the rhythm also, okay? But first make sure you are good with the notes, okay? So then you can add the rhythm, and then you can see that you are developing a flow for that music piece, okay? That's basically the last point I would say. So first notes, then you check the rhythm, and the last thing is the flow, that you're not playing each note by note, but that you're all connecting all the notes, all the dots, and at the end it should be a beautiful picture, a beautiful music piece, okay? So I call this just get the flow of this music piece, okay? Okay, and what do I mean by theory? By theory, I mean what is behind this music piece that you are actually playing. So if you are now already intermediate or advanced, it's about finding the chords behind the music piece, chord progressions, see the different sections, what keys are they written in, and so on. If you're just a beginner, you don't have to get into this stuff really deep. But for example, you can start with, okay, how many flats or how many sharps do we have in this music piece? And you circle them so that you find them easily while you are playing, okay? That's already enough. Or maybe you see, okay, how many sections do I have? Is there a repetition somewhere? How long is my music piece? something like this, okay? So don't overcomplicate it if you're just a beginner, okay? But that's also important, and you can always integrate that kind of part into your practice routine, okay? So now you're maybe gonna ask me, how should I integrate all those things into my practice routine? How much time should I dedicate to each of those elements, okay? So it depends, of course, if you are a beginner or if you are already advanced. If you are just a beginner, then I would recommend you to start with the technique, and you can spend about 5 minutes, okay? So let's do 5 minutes technique, and then you play the music piece, let's say 15 minutes, and let's say 15 to 20 minutes, and you include the theory within that time, okay? So let's say the theory is about like 3 to 5 minutes, okay? So not that long, okay? If you are already intermediate, you can double the time. So let's say 10 minutes technique, and you play for half an hour, and the theory is then about, let's say, 6 to 10 minutes, okay? Another thing that I want to give you on your journey is please rotate the exercise, okay? So don't do the same exercise for warm-up for more than 1 month, I would say, yes? Because then you will get bored. Even if you cannot play that one perfectly, that's all right. Just do another one, and you can come back to this exercise, okay? That actually brings me to my next point, okay? Sometimes it feels like you are stuck with a certain music piece. That's also totally normal. You're practicing, and you're doing all this stuff, everybody's recommending you, but for some reason, it's not clicking, okay? So then, put it away, and I do not mean like for 1 week, I mean like for 1 or 2 months actually, okay? Put it away, play something totally different. Even though it's a totally different technique or music piece, different genre, it doesn't matter, okay? And then you can come back. Because sometimes you just need to get it out of your head, get it out of your fingers a little bit, and then come back and look at it with a different perspective, okay? That's already it. Feel free to share your practice routine in the comments. I'd be happy to hear about it. And yes, I would say see you in the next video. Bye!